Section 7. Reactive Programming with Swift. In this section we're going to learn more about the theory behind the Combine framework. We have already used this framework throughout the past videos and sections, but this section will help you to put the final pieces of the puzzle together. We're also going to look at the benefits of reactive programming and how to use Combine with UIKit. So far we have only used it with Swift UI. Last but not least, we're also going to compare Combine to other frameworks like the popular RX Swift. The power of reactive programming. Like the name already suggests, reactive programming is a way of defining a reaction to a certain event. Such an event is typically the change in data or the gathering of new data, like for example the response from a network. We're going to talk a lot about publishers and subscribers, and those are two protocols that are actually defined in the Combine framework. And according to the Apple documentation, a publisher, for example, can deliver a sequence of values over time. Now, let's look at this statement carefully. Over time already suggests an asynchronous nature. That means that Combine and also reactive programming in general works best if you have problems that are of asynchronous nature, like button clicks, events that are triggered by the user, or networking and stuff like that. Then whenever a value changes or sequence of value is gathered, this publisher lets its subscribers know. That brings us to the subscriber, because according to the Apple documentation again, it acts on elements as it receives them. So whenever the publisher publishes new data, the subscriber reacts on that element or on that piece of data. Now, as I've said before, we've already used the Combine framework in previous sections. So this might already help you to better understand the puzzle pieces that might have been unclear in the previous sections. Last but not least, there are also already system types like the Foundation, Notification Center that can already act as a publisher. And we have actually also already used such a system publisher, which was the URL session. Operators. Well, there is also a third component to Combine, and that's called an operator. An operator is typically used on a publisher. It's a function that you call on a publisher that manipulates the propagated results, and it also returns back a publisher again. That makes it possible to write function after function after function in a reactive programming style. And some of the names of these operators are very common, like map or filter. And others are a little bit more exotic and specific to Combine or reactive programming in general, like retry, that allows you to try a statement 2, 3, 4 or multiple times, or throttle, that makes sure that values are not coming in too fast. Now there are also two types of subscriber that are already built into the Combine framework, and we have already also used them in the previous videos. These methods can be applied to a publisher and are called sync or assign. With sync you get a completion handler and can deal with the values as you like. With assign, on the other hand, you directly assign the result or the data of a publisher to a certain variable on a certain object. Now, both of those subscribers, actually every subscriber, if you happen to introduce your custom subscriber, returns a cancelable object. And you have to always keep a strong reference and store that object, because at a later time it allows you to cancel the subscription, if you will, if you no longer need information about data changes from that particular publisher. But also if you don't store a strong reference to this cancelable object, your subscriber functions will not be called. So make sure to remember that. Now this was a video with a lot of theory about the Combine framework.